Morning, students. Welcome to this class, R&DC class. This is the 24th class in our subject. We completed till now 2 units related to air refrigeration cycles and systems and vapor compression refrigeration cycles and systems. Already we solved different types of problems in both types of refrigeration systems. And in this class, I'm going to discuss the third unit. I'm going to start the third unit, that is components in VCR system. What are the different components in simple vapor compression refrigeration system? As we know that the simple vapor compression refrigeration system having 4 essential components, isn't it? The first one is compressor, refrigerant compressor. Then condenser. Third one is expansion devices, that is expansion valve. And fourth one is evaporator. Condenser and evaporators are simply a copper coils, copper pipes. Compressor is the machine to compress the refrigerant from low pressure to high pressure. Expansion valve is the small valve that is an opening or control valve which reduces the pressure from condenser to evaporator. In this unit, third unit, we are going to study the different types of components and classifications of their components and their working. Clear? In this third unit, first of all, we are going to study about refrigerant compressors. Refrigerant compressors. This is the third unit. Components in VCR system. As we know that in simple VCR system, these are the 4 essential components: refrigerant compressors, condensers, expansion devices, and evaporators. These are the 4 essential components. Without these components, the VCR system cannot work. So first of all, let us discuss the refrigerant compressors and their classifications working. The functions of these devices, these components, we studied in the second unit. What is the function of compressor? What is the function of condenser? What is the process involved in the condensation process? And what is the device, expansion device, in which what is the process occurs, and evaporator, in which what is the different types of heat absorption rejection takes place. We already studied in the last unit about these components. But in this unit, we are going to study in detail of their classifications and working. Let us look the refrigerant compressors. Why we call it is a refrigerant compressor? You already studied in the TE1, that is the air compressors already studied, that compressors only meant for air compression. That is the air. Working fluid is the air. But here compressors are meant for the refrigerant which are used in this refrigeration system. Here, in subject point of view, many compressors are there, many types of compressors are there. But we are looking only few compressors which are used in the refrigeration systems. So a refrigerant compressor, as the name indicates, it's a machine used to compress the vapor refrigerant from evaporator and to rise its pressure so that the condensing corresponding saturation temperature is higher than that of the cooling medium. So compressor is used to compress the refrigerant which is temperature above the cooling medium temperature. It also continually circulates the refrigerant. The compressor is also meant for the flow of circulation in the system. Since the compression of the refrigerant requires some work input. We require some work input. We should supply the work input to the compressor. Therefore, compressor must be driven by some prime mover. Prime mover means the device which is used to run the system, that is used to run the compressor, rotate the compressor, is called the prime mover. In air refrigeration system, the prime mover is a turbine. In VCR system, the prime mover is used, motor used as a prime mover. Electric motor is used as prime mover to supply the power input. Then coming to the classifications of compressors, the compressors may be classified in many ways, but the following are the important from the subjective point of view. These are the according to the method of compression or according to the principle of compression. Compression principle, these are the three types: reciprocating compressors, rotary compressors, and centrifugal compressors. These are the compressors which are broadly classification under the principle of working principle. Then second classification is according to the number of working strokes. A single acting compressor and double acting compressor. What is a single acting and double acting compressor means? If the working fluid is compressed on one side of the piston, then that is called the single acting compressor. Or the working fluid is entered into the cylinder on both sides of the piston, then that compressor is called the double acting compressors. Okay, working fluid is compressed on either side of the piston in double acting compressors. Next, according to the number of stages, that is number of cylinders. According to the number of cylinders, single stage compressors, multi-stage compressors. If the compression takes place in the system in one stage, that is in single cylinder, that is called the single stage compressor. If the compression takes place in more than one cylinder, that is called the multi-stage compressors, so the multi-cylinder used in this. And according to the method of drive employed. So how the compressor is running or drive by the prime mover, that is based on this, according to this method, we are dividing two methods, that is two classifications: direct to drive compressors and belt to drive compressors. Direct to drive compressors means the prime mover and compressors are coupled on the same shaft, which are located at the same location. So that is called the direct drive compressors. Otherwise, the prime mover, the power is supplied from the prime mover to the compressor by a gear mechanism. That is called the direct drive compressors. The second one is belt drive compressors. In this belt drive compressors, the compressor can be run by the prime mover through a belt drive mechanism. These belt drive compressors are slow speed compressors, and direct drive compressors are high speed compressors. These are directly run by the prime mover, directly attached to the prime mover on the single shaft or gear mechanism. According to the location of prime mover, where the prime mover is located, either it is nearer to the compressor or away from the compressor. Based on that, semi-hermetic compressors, that is direct drive, motor and compressor in separate housing. Compressor and motor placed are in separate housing. They are both are placed in somewhere else, that is far away from the compressor. The motor prime mover is located far away from the compressor, that is called the semi-hermetic compressors. And hermetic sealed compressors, this is the hermetic compressors or hermetically sealed compressors. In domestic refrigerators, these hermetic sealed compressors are using. In domestic refrigerators or domestic air conditioners, these type of compressors can be used. In this hermetic sealed compressors, motor and compressors in same housing, that is they are located at the same place, and prime mover, that is a motor, is running, the compressor is running by the motor. These two are located at the same place in the single housing. In the single housing. Housing means that is in the single location. They are sealed with each other, that housing is airtight housing. There is no leakage from the compressor. That are called hermetically sealed compressors. These are the basic classifications which are used in the refrigeration system. Basic classification of compressors. Clear? So I hope you understand that classification. First classification is based on the method of compression, that is the working principle. This is based on the working principle. These three types: reciprocating, rotary, and centrifugal. This reciprocating and rotary compressors commonly called the positive displacement compressors. Positive displacement compressors. Centrifugal compressor is not a positive displacement compressor. What the positive displacement means? Positive displacement means backflow does not occur when the partial load on the compressors. That is at part loads, when the compressors are in a running slow speed or it is in a shut-off condition, the backflow does not occur in these two compressors. Backflow does not occur because these two compressors having the valves, which does not allow the refrigerant, compressed refrigerant into the compressors again. But centrifugal compressors at part loads, the backflow occurs from the high pressure side to low pressure side, the refrigerant again flow into the compressor when the centrifugal compressor is in shut-off condition. That's why it is not a positive displacement. These two are the positive displacement. The displacement means that a direction of flow of fluid is a displacement direction, that is positive direction, which is always flows in the condenser side. But in centrifugal compressors, negative flow occurs, that is the reversal flow occurs when the part load conditions. Clear? And next classification based on the number of working strokes, single acting and double acting. And number of cylinders, it's the single stage, multi-stage compressors. A method of drive, the direct drive compressors, belt drive compressors. And according to the location of prime mover, these two semi-hermetical compressors and hermetical sealed compressors. These are some classifications which are very important in the subject point of view, that is R&AC point of view. Remaining compressors are these two compressors. That is you are studied in the DE1 subject, different types of compressors which are used, which are adopted for the air to compress from low pressure to high pressure. But these are the very important in the subject R&AC subject point of view. Clear, students? Let us go for the important terms which are generally used in the compressors. The following important terms which will be frequently used in this chapter. Suction pressure. We know that suction pressure, what is means the suction pressure? That is the evaporator pressure. It is also called the evaporator pressure. It is absolute pressure of refrigerant at the inlet of the compressor. Inlet of the compressor is called the suction pressure. This absolute pressure of the refrigerant at the outlet of the compressor is called the discharge pressure. Simple. At inlet, suction pressure. At outlet of the compressor, discharge pressure. Compression ratio or pressure ratio it is called. It is the ratio of absolute discharge pressure to the absolute suction pressure. So P2 by P1. P2 is the discharge pressure, P1 is the suction pressure. P2 by P1 is also called the compression ratio or pressure ratio. Since the absolute discharge pressure is always more than the absolute suction pressure, therefore value of compression ratio is more than unity. So P2 by P1 is always greater than 1. Note, the compression ratio may be also defined as the ratio of total cylinder volume to the clearance volume. It is also defined like this. Total cylinder volume to the clearance volume. Next, suction volume. It is the volume of refrigerant sucked by the compressor during its suction stroke. It is usually denoted by VS, suction volume, as swept to volume. Actual volume of the refrigerant. Piston displacement volume or stroke volume, it is swept to volume. It is called the swept to volume. This is the actual volume. It is the volume swept by the piston when it is moves from top or inner dead center position to the bottom or outer dead center position. Mathematically, piston displacement volume or stroke volume or swept to volume, Vp is equal to pi by 4 d square L. This is the area of the cylinder into stroke length is called the volume. That is the swept to volume or piston displacement volume or stroke volume. D is the diameter of the cylinder, L is the stroke length or length of the piston stroke. These terms are already you heard about these terms in the TE1, that is the air compressors. Clearance factor or clearance ratio. Clearance ratio, which is denoted by C or K. In some books, it is denoted by K. It is the ratio of clearance volume to the piston displacement volume, or clearance volume to the swept volume is the clearance factor or clearance ratio. VC by VP. Compressor capacity. It is the volume of actual amount of refrigerant passing to the compressor in unit time. There is a volume flow rate, actual amount. This is called the suction volume. It is equal to the suction volume. This is VS. Compressor capacity is equal to the suction volume. It is expressed in meter cube per second or meter cube per minute. Then volumetric efficiency. It is the ratio of compressor capacity or actual volume or suction volume to the piston displacement volume, VP, or stroke volume or swept volume. So mathematically, volumetric efficiency is eta V equal to Vs by Vp. That is a capacity, compressor capacity of suction volume to the piston displacement volume. A good compressor has the volumetric efficiency of 70 to 80%. So when compared to the piston displacement volume, the suction volume is 70 to 80%. Then that compressor is a good compressor. Yeah, the suction volume by piston displacement volume. In natural notation, it is the actual volume by swept volume. Clear? Actual volume by swept volume is volumetric efficiency. These are the general terms which are generally used in compressors. Let us go for the reciprocating, working of reciprocating compressor. First compressor is reciprocating compressor. The compressors in which the vapor refrigerant is compressed by the reciprocating back and forth, the piston movement valla compress avutundi kabatti then reciprocating compressor anta. Motion of the piston are called the reciprocating compressor. Reciprocating motion of the piston valla compress avutundi kabatti that compressor is called the reciprocating compressor. These compressors are used for refrigerants which have comparatively low volume per kg and large differential pressure. Whenever the pressure is high pressure range is required, this compressor is adopted. This compressor having a high density fluid used for the high density fluids because the flow rate is very less when compared to the centrifugal and other compressors. That's why high density fluid can be used for this reciprocating compressors, such as ammonia R717, R12, R22, and methyl chloride R40. These compressors are adopted. The reciprocating compressors are available in sizes as small as 1 by 12 kilowatts. A small size which can be employed for the refrigeration system is 1 by 12 kilowatts, which are used in small domestic refrigerators, and up to about 150 kilowatts. It can be used up to 150 kilowatts power for large capacity installations. So ranges of compressor used from 12 kilowatts to 150 kilowatts, 1 by 12 kilowatts to 150 kilowatts. Here, very small range, power range to a very high power range, 150 kilowatts, it can be employed. Clear? So this figure, observe this figure, these four figures. Figure shows a single stage, single acting. That is, single stage means only one cylinder. Single acting means the refrigerant entered into the cylinder on one side of the piston only. In its simplest form, the principle of operation of compression cycle as discussed below. These are the figures. During the suction stroke, the piston moves towards the BDC from TDC. This is the suction stroke. When the suction stroke starts, the suction valve, it is opens. The refrigerant coming from the evaporator will be entered into the cylinder. After entering into the cylinder, when the piston is at the bottom dead center, the two valves are in closed position due to the pressure difference on either side of the valves. Then compression stroke starts. After compression, at the end of compression, the pressure in the cylinder is more than the discharge pressure, that is the condenser pressure. Whenever the pressure difference is created between the cylinder and the condenser, the discharge valve opens. When discharge valve opens, the compressed refrigerant will be sent or delivered to the condenser through discharge valve. So suction, compression, and discharge. These are the occurs in the reciprocating compressors. In this, cylinder head is, suction side it is, discharge side, suction valve, this small valve, and discharge valve it is, and the cylinder. This is the space provided. It is the cylinder, connecting rod, crank. This is a crankcase. It is a piston. Okay, as that of the, it is the same principle as that of the IC engine, but it is a combustion is absent here. Let us consider that the piston is at the top of its stroke as shown in figure A. This is the figure A. When the piston is at the top position, top dead center, this is called top dead center position of the piston. In this position, the suction valve is held closed because of the pressure in the clearance space between the top of the piston and the cylinder head. If top of the piston ki cylinder head ki pressure difference wala idan closed position lo untundi because the pressure is very less in the cylinder before suction. The discharge valve is also held closed because of the cylinder head pressure acting on the top of it. When the piston moves downwards during the suction stroke, as shown in figure B, when the piston moves starts towards the bottom dead center, when piston moves towards bottom dead center, the refrigerant left in the clearance space is expands. In the previous cycle, the refrigerant which is left in the clearance volume will be trying to expand. During this expansion, the volume is increases in the cylinder. This volume increment, due to this volume increment, the pressure will be drops. The volume of the cylinder above the piston increases and the pressure inside the cylinder is decreases. When the pressure becomes slightly less than the suction pressure, whenever the pressure in the cylinder is slightly less than the suction pressure, this valve will opens. Suction valve will opens. Okay. The suction valve gets opened and the vapor refrigerant flows into the cylinder. This flows continues until the piston reaches the bottom of its stroke, that is bottom dead center. The continuous process, suction process will be continuous up to bottom dead center. The refrigerant enters into the cylinder till the piston reaches to bottom dead center at this position. Whenever the piston reaches the bottom dead center, the bottom of the stroke in figure C, the suction valve closes because of spring action. Whenever the piston moves to bottom dead center, this suction valve will be closes due to pressure difference on either side of the valve. Now, when the piston moves upwards during compression stroke, it is shown in the figure D. During the movement of the piston upward direction, the volume of the cylinder decreases and the pressure inside the cylinder increases. When the pressure inside the cylinder becomes greater than that of the top of the discharge valve, ఎప్పుడైతే ఈ సిలిండర్ లో ఈ డిశ్చార్జ్ వాల్వ్ పైన ఉండే ప్రెషర్ కంటే ఎక్కువ అవుతుందో ఆ వాల్వ్ అనేది గెట్స్ ఓపెన్, డిశ్చార్జ్ వాల్వ్ గెట్స్ ఓపెన్. When the pressure inside the cylinder becomes greater than the top of the discharge valve, the discharge valve gets opened and the vapor refrigerant is discharged into the condenser and the cycle is repeats. Clear? Like this, the reciprocating compressor works. It may be noted that the single acting reciprocating compressor, the suction, compression and discharge of the refrigerant takes place in two strokes of the piston. Two stroke means it is moves downward direction, bottom dead center, and upward direction towards the top dead center. These are within these two strokes, one cycle will be completes or one revolution of the crankshaft. Note, in double acting compressor, reciprocating compressor, the suction and compression takes place on both sides of the piston. Double acting lo aithe rendu side la refrigerant enter avutundi, rendu side la compression process occur avutundi. It is thus the double obvious that the such a compressor will supply double the volume of refrigerant than the single acting compressor. Atvanti compressor, double acting compressors lo double amount of volume will be delivered by the compressor when compared to the single stage or single acting. Here, there must be a certain discharge between the top of the piston and cylinder head when the piston is top dead center, so that the piston does not strike the cylinder head. The cylinder head ni touch avakunda some clearance will be provided within the cylinder. Okay, cylinder clearance provide cheyadam valla clearance volume provide chestam. The distance called the clearance space and the volume therein called the clearance volume. The refrigerant left in this space, clearance space, is at a discharge pressure and its pressure must be reduced below that of suction pressure, atmosphere pressure, before any vapor refrigerant flows into the cylinder. The clearance space should be minimum. The clearance space should be minimum. To maintain a minimum clearance space, then only volumetric efficiency more. The low capacity compressors are air cooled. Generally, the low capacity compressors are air cooled compressors. The cylinders of these compressors usually have fins. Cooling fins are provided on the air cooled condensers, that is air cooled compressors, to provide better air cooling. The high capacity compressors are cooled by providing the water jackets around the cylinder. High capacity compressors lo matram water jackets design chestaru. Low capacity systems lo cooling fins provide chestaru cylinders paina, compressor cylinder paina, cooling process. Clear? Let us look the work equation for the single stage without clearance volume. That is the work done by a single stage, single acting reciprocating compressor without clearance volume. Already you derived in the TE1, that is the air compressors. This is the work done in single stage reciprocating compressor without clearance volume. This is the diagram which shows the PV diagram and TS diagram. That is AB is the suction stroke. The piston moves from top dead center. This is the top dead center to the bottom dead center, A to B. Then B to C or C1, C2 or the compression process, which follows the different laws. That is the isothermal, polytropic, and isentropic. If it is follows these laws, the BC1 is the isothermal compression, BC is the polytropic compression, BC2 is the isentropic compression. After compressing process, the high pressure refrigerant will be sent to the condenser through the discharge valve. This is the delivery stroke. C1 to D or C to D or C2 to D is called the delivery stroke. This is the V2, that is the volume after delivery. So during the delivery process, this much of volume will be delivered to the condenser. So volume flow rate towards the condenser, V2. V1 is the volume taken by the compressor, suction volume, it is V1. V1 is suction volume, V2 is the discharge volume. Here, these are the compression process. This is the suction stroke AB, BC is the compression stroke, compression process, and C to D is the delivery stroke. Again, the cycle will be repeats like this. P1 is the suction pressure, P2 is the discharge pressure. Clear? Same as TS diagram. From V2 only is in this TS diagram shows that only compression process. B2 C2 B2 nundi C2 variki, that is B nundi C2 variki isentropic compression, which is a vertical line on TS diagram. B2C is the polytropic compression, and B2C1 is the isothermal compression, which is horizontal on TS diagram. Isothermal compression. P1 is the low pressure, suction pressure, and P2 is the discharge pressure. Clear? By using this PV diagram, we can derive the work equation for the compressor. Let us derive the equation. Consider a single stage, single acting reciprocating compressor without clearance as shown in PV and TS diagrams. Let P1, V1, T1 are the pressure, volume, temperature at inlet, and P2, V2, T2 are the corresponding parameters at outlet. And R is the compression or pressure ratio, which is equal to P2 by P1. Let us take R is the compression or pressure ratio, which is equal to P2 by P1. As a matter of fact, the compression of refrigerant may be isothermal, polytropic, or isentropic. It is also called reversible adiabatic. Now we shall find out the amount of work done in compressing of the refrigerant in all the above mentioned three cases: isothermal, polytropic, and isentropic. If the compression process is isothermal, then what is the work equation? If we follow the compression process is isothermal, that is a B2C1, B nundi C1 variki, that is the isothermal compression, then what is the work input to the compressor? This is during the suction, compression, and discharge. Suction, compression, and delivery or discharge. During this process, the area represents the A, B, C1, D is the enclosed area which represents the work required to the compressor. Clear? So on PV diagram, this area, enclosed area between A, B, C1, and D represents the work required to the compressor for the isothermal compression. Clear? How to find this enclosed area? So area under the DC1 plus area under the BC1 minus area under the AB. If you subtract this area, then we will get the area enclosed between A, B, C1, D. Clear? So isothermal process, we have already discussed that when the piston moves from top dead center from A, that is the top dead center is A, the refrigerant is admitted into the compressor cylinder and it continues till the piston reaches at the bottom dead center, which shows the point B. This is the point B. A to B is the suction stroke, top dead center to bottom dead center. Clear? Thus the line AB represents the suction stroke, and the area below this line, this line, that is area A, B, B dash, A dash. Area A, B, B dash, A dash, this is the area under the line AB, represents the work on the refrigerant or work done by the refrigerant on the piston during the suction stroke. W1, which represents W1. Area A, B, B dash, A is equal to P1, B1 because it is a rectangle. P1 is the pressure and B1 is the volume. Clear? So W1 is area under AB line, that is P1 V1, because it is a rectangle, that is height is P1, pressure P1, and V1 is the volume from A to B. So area of the rectangle is height into length, that is a P1 V1. Clear? Then the refrigerant is compressed. After that, at point B, the refrigerant starts to compress during the return stroke from B to C1 during the isothermal compression of the piston constant temperature. The compression continues till the pressure P2. The compression process takes place from P1 to P2 in the cylinder is sufficient to force open the discharge valve at C1. So, eppadaithe pressure P2 ki reach avutundo C1 daggara discharge valve open avutundi. That the discharge valve opens at C1 during the compression, isothermal compression. After that, no compression takes place, the inward movement of the piston. Now, during the remaining part of the compression stroke, the compressed refrigerant is discharged to the condenser till the piston reaches to its top dead center. The volume of refrigerant delivered is V2 is represented by the line C1D. This is the C1D. C1D is the V2 in the if it is isothermal. CD is the discharge volume if it is polytropic. C2 to D is the volume V2 if it is isentropic compression. Clear? So in this diagram, only V2 is shown from C to D. But if we follow this isothermal, the volume V2 is C1 to D. Clear? From the figure, work done during the compression process, W2 during V2 C1, what is the work done? As we know that from the basics for also isothermal process, P1 V1 log of V1 by V2 is the formula for the isothermal compression. The work required for isothermal compression. Clear? Log of base E it is. Work done during the discharge, W3 during discharge means C1 to D. The area under this line is P2 is the pressure and V2 is the volume. So P2 into V2 is the total work done during the delivery stroke C1 to D. That is the W3 P2 V2. So work done by the compressor or on the compressor per cycle, W equal to area AB C1 D. That is the enclosed area. A, B, C1, D is the enclosed area which represents the work required to the compressor. So that is equal to W3, W2 are the positive works. That is the work done on the refrigerant, and minus W1. W1 is the work done by the refrigerant on the piston. That's why we are subtracting this W1. Then only we can get the required area. Okay, W3 plus W2 minus W1. So after substitution of all the parameters, that is all the equations, P2 V2 is the W3 plus P1 V1 log V1 by V2 minus P1 V1. Here the P1 V1 equal to P2 V2 for isothermal process. For this isothermal process, P1 V1, that is the one at this point, B point, P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. Therefore, P1 V1, P2 V2 cancel here. Only remains the P1 V1 log V1 V2 is the equation to calculate the power required or work required to the compressor if it is isothermal compression. P1 V1 log of R, V1 by V2 or P2 by P1 is represented as pressure ratio or compression ratio, R. So therefore work is equal to, in place of P1 V1 we can write as MR T1, this is a gas equation. MR into T1 is the temperature of refrigerant before entering into the compressor into log of R. This is the work required if the compression is isothermal. Clear? Let us go for the work done during the polytropic compression. If the compression follows the polytropic law, PV power N equal to constant, the similar way we can derive the work equation. W1, the area A, B, B dash A is P1 V1 as it is in the previous case. And work done during the polytropic compression, this is changes when compared to the previous case. W equal to area B, C, C dash, B dash. It is the base from the basics for the polytropic compression. Work equation is P2 V2 minus P1 V1 by N minus 1. This is a work equation, basic work equation for the process of a polytropic. Then work done during the discharge is same P2 V2, same as in previous case. Therefore, net work done is equal to, net area is equal to W3 plus W2 minus W1. In this case, not P2 V2 is not equal to P1 V1 because it is not isothermal, is not equal. From this, we can common P2 V2 is taken as common. Otherwise, n minus 1 is the LCM here. N minus 1 into P2V2 plus P2V2 minus P1V1 minus n minus 1 into P1V1. N minus 1 is the LCM here. Clear? So here P2V2 can be common. P2V2 here, P2V2 is a P1V1. From this we can common like this, n by n minus 1 here. From these two equation, from these two, n into P2V2 is remains, because minus 1 into P2V2 plus P2V2 cancel. So n into P2V2 ikkada kuda minus P1V1 plus P1V1 cancel, therefore minus n into P1V1. So n into P2V2 minus n into P1V1, n remains common, n into P2V2 minus P1V1 in the numerator, and in the denominator n minus 1. Therefore n by n minus 1 P2V2 minus P1V1. Otherwise we can common P1V1 common is ikkada P2V2 by P1V1 minus 1. Let us take this equation 1. As we know that for the polytropic compression, P1V1 power n equal to P2V2 power n. It is for polytropic. From this V1 by V2 equal to P2 by P1 whole power n. Equation unde V1 by V2 never raskochu ante P2 by P1 whole power 1 by n raskochu. Or V2 by V1 then reverse cheste P1 by P2 whole power 1 by n avutundi. So substituting the value of V2 by V1 equation 1. Equation 1 lo మనం substitute చేసుకుంటే ఎక్కడైతే V2 by V1 ఉందో అక్కడ P1 by P2 whole power 1 by n రాసుకుంటాం minus 1. So n by n minus 1 into P1 V1 P2 by P1, దీన్ని రివర్స్ చేసినప్పుడు ఇది మైనస్. When we reverse the base, the power is minus. Power changes its sign. So P2 by P1 whole power minus 1 by n minus 1. From this P2 in the numerator, P2 by P1 whole power n 1 minus 1 by n, that is n minus 1 by n అవుతుంది minus 1. So n by n minus 1, P1 in place of P1 V1 MRT1, P2 by P1 whole power n minus 1 by n minus 1. N by n minus 1 into MRT1 into P2 by P1 whole power n minus 1 by n for polytropic compression, it is taken as T2 by T1. So T2 by T1 minus 1. Otherwise n by n minus 1 MR into T2 minus T1 divided by T1, T1 cancel, T2 minus T1 remains. So n by n minus 1 MR T2 minus T1 is the work required to the compressor during the polytropic compression. Clear? This is the equation to calculate the work required to the compressor. It's a flow work. It is the flow work through the compressor. Next, similar way, work done during the isotropic compression. If you simply replace the n here, simply replace by n with a gamma. Gamma by gamma minus 1, P1 V1, P2 by P1 whole power in place of n, gamma minus 1 by gamma minus 1. Otherwise, gamma by gamma minus 1 into MRT1, P1 V1 equal to MRT1, P2 by P1 whole power gamma minus 1 by gamma minus 1. Clear? This is a similar way we can derive as in the previous case, that is for the polytropic process. Only the changes is in place of n, replace that n by gamma. Okay, gamma by gamma minus 1 MR into T2 minus T1, because we can write this P2 by P1 whole power gamma minus 1 by gamma equal to T2 by T1. T2 by T1 minus 1 or T2 minus T1 by T1, T1 cancel, so T2 by T1 is remains. We know that the ratio of specific heats Cp by Cv equal to gamma, Cp minus Cv equal to R. Or R is equal to, capital R is equal to Cp into 1 minus 1 by gamma. Capital R is equal to Cp common తీస్తే ఇందులోకి వెళ్ళి Cp కామన్ తీసినప్పుడు ఇక్కడ 1 ఉంటుంది, ఇక్కడ Cv by Cp మిగులుతుంది. Cv by Cp అంటే 1 by gamma. So Cp into gamma minus 1 by gamma. So R into gamma divided by gamma minus 1 can be replaced by Cp. R into gamma by gamma minus 1 replaced by Cp. Therefore, this equation becomes the work done during the compression, isentropic compression, m into Cp into T2 minus T1. So final equation, mCp into delta T, it will be mCp into T2 minus T1. This shows that the work done by the compressor per cycle during the isentropic compression is equal to the heat required to rise the temperature of refrigerant from T1 to T2 at constant pressure. At constant pressure దగ్గర heat required ఎంత అవుతుందో 1 T1 నుండి T2 రైజ్ అవ్వడానికి same work is given. Work equation కూడా same equation for the flow work. mCp into T2 minus T1 is the work required to the compression for isentropic process. Clear? If we know the work, then power required. rate of work is called the power. Work we will get here in this equation, we will get the work equation as work units as Newton meter per minute. Newton meter per minute. If it is divided by 60 Newton meter per second, that is joules per second, it will be watts. Okay. Otherwise, W into NW by 60. NW is the number of working strokes. Number of working strokes. So if N is the speed of the compressor in RPM, then number of working strokes per minute is NW equal to N, speed of the compressor, if it is single acting. If it is double acting compressor, 2 times the N. Clear? Double acting aithe 2 times the N is the number of working strokes. So 2 times the number speed. That is the 2 times the speed. NW place lo N gani and 2N gani substitute cheste, we will get the power required to the compressor in watts. Clear? These are the related to the single stage, single acting, reciprocating compressor work equation with 3 processes. If we follow the 3 processes. Here, I will explain the I will solve the problem on this formulas, and we will go for the multi-stage compressor in the next class. I'm closing this class here. Bye. Have a nice day.